Hey, zombie fam, come with us as we attend a red carpet premiere and an after party for an icon who turned 93. Beam us up for adventure.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Zombies have a real adventures.
Today we're here at the Culver Theater, and we're here to see the documentary about William Shatner. It's called Call Me Bill. No, William Shatner's going to be here, and the host of it is going to be Kevin Smith, and then we're going to go to the after party once the movie is done.
The real talent, Alexander O'Fleet, the director of the film. Thank you. Hello. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Legion N. Thank you, Legion Emmers, and all the wonderful people who actually believed in this film and invested in it. This is our film, really. It belongs to us. What a privilege it has been to work on this, to get Bill to take off the multiple masks that he has worn over his incredible career, and get ready for a very up-close, personal, intimate portrait of the man who needs no introduction, who is right here, Bill Shatner.
Thank you. You get the applause right on now. Thank you for that. Making a film, getting a film made, not making a film, but getting a film made is one of the more difficult things in the world. Not just in show business, but the anxiety, the tension of raising money to make the film, then making the film. You got a pile of film in your possession. You got to edit and put it together. But all the things that don't involve one-on-one with people like on the set, but it takes another year before you get the music and the editing and everything. And then, perhaps the most difficult part of it all is selling. Somebody's got to show it. And in this last 2-3 years, we've had an upheaval in our business where the people who show the film and the venue to show it oversold themselves because they anticipated a strike. Anyway, the whole thing's a mess. And selling a film today is harder than ever. So Legion N, this wonderful company that is financed by a lot of you who are in the audience, you invested your money and you own a portion of this film. And when this film earns its money back, you will be paid back, and you get paid back before we get compensated. So it's really our film, and we are now launching it. The baby has been born, so it's a very monumental time for those of us who made the film. So much time and energy, and now would it be a success? And you guys have the answer. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen. Hey kids, I'm Kevin Smith. How are you? Just a few words, ladies and gentlemen, about the man we're here to honor tonight. A man who's been to space in TV, in film, in books, and actually in real life as well. And in love, as he pointed out from the side. Kids, acting comes down to, somebody smarter than me once said, acting comes down to a job of choices. An actor makes a choice, and that's what makes the delivery of that particular line indelible and that performance memorable as heck. So when I was a kid, I was not a fan of the Star Trek TV show, sorry to admit. Let me explain. Topical for a Jersey kid. I was well aware of the mythology. So I'd seen Star Trek the motion picture, which amounted to a lot of shots of the Enterprise for like 40 minutes and shit. But I'd heard great things about Wrath of Khan. My cousin wanted to see it, so we went to see Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. There, I discovered that Captain Kirk himself, William Shatner, was one of my favorite actors on the planet. I love actors. That's why I gravitated toward making films. But that day I saw an actor make 3 choices which stuck with me forever and still stick with me today. Number 1 is 3 moments in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. One of the first moments is when William Shatner lowers his glasses to say, "It's coming through now, Khan." I remember being in the theater and being 12 years old and being like, "Did you hear the way he said that?" Like that sounded like you would say something like to a teacher or something. Like he was a captain of a starship, and he made this kind of delivery, this choice that sounded familiar and human. So right then and there, I'm bonding with that character. Second choice he made that made it a deep, lasting impression was "It's coming through now, Khan." This line, the second one, which I wound up using later on, is when he says, "I'm laughing at your superior intellect." The disdain in his voice, the challenge, the shove, the this was just so like beautifully put. Another excellent choice. Years later, when I would work with him, I would ask him to deliver that exact same line just so I could feel the timbre and the power. But the third moment is the most important, man, because it's what proved to me that this guy is absolutely one of my favorite actors and has been throughout the course of my life since then, because he made a choice that still sticks with me. And my voice is getting a little quavered because when I think about it, it still gives me chills. And of course, we're talking about the burial scene for Spock, and he gives the eulogy. And when he gets to the line where he says, "Of my friend, I can say only this, of all my travels, of all the souls I've encountered in my travels," his was, and I can't do it justice, but it's roughly like this. His was the most, and he cracks on most. Just the way like my father had cracked when he was delivering a eulogy for his mother when I was a kid. It sounded so unbelievably recognizable and human. And then when he pulls himself together after cracking, when he says most, and he delivers human in the most militaristic, official way he can, saving himself. He let you see this vast well of emotion with just the crack on one word, and then went back to being who he is, the hero. Right then and there, I was like, oh my God, I will work with this guy one day. Took me 30 fucking years to do it. And we did so most recently on this thing called the Masters of the Universe Revelation, where he played Keldor. So first day he comes to work, first thing that blows my mind is, they're like, "Mr. Shatner's coming in today." They're like, "He's 92, so his time is valuable." I was like, no shit. So I'm there, I'm late for everything, but I show up on time, if not early for this. And I was glad I was there because I got to see something incredible. This 92-year-old man that they were like, "Be careful with him," sped into the parking lot in the car that he was driving himself, got out, briskly went to the steps, and I was standing outside, and he was like, "Can you open the door?" And he thought I worked there, and so I opened the door. Technically, he was right, I was working there, I was working with him. We went inside and prepared to record. And it's a moment I'll take with me for the rest of my life. As we're going, he's an icon. I'm still a little bit nervous. Even 30 years in this business, I could still be shaken up by people who deeply impress me. Bill is one of those people. So I was like going, "Okay, Bill, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab these few lines up front, and then we're gonna jump to this other scene, grab these 2 lines before we take a break." And Bill, just like he would deliver it if he was on SNL telling people to get a life or something like that. Bill said this, he goes, "Kevin, in a moment, you will have the pleasure of directing me." Just give me a moment. And I gave him a moment. He came on and absolutely rocked the mic, which he's going to do now. Ladies and gentlemen, it took me a lot of years to go from a moment in the movie theater where I was like, those are three amazing choices. This is my man for life. To actually getting to work with him, to actually getting to the point where I can introduce you to the legend. Welcome, almost Mr. 93-year-old William Shatner, ladies.
Hi, everybody. My name is Shatner. Thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed the film. You know, I may have said this to some of you earlier, but that getting the finances and making the film and editing the film are all huge events. But the one that is least publicized and least felt by the people involved in the film, because they've long since gone, is selling the film. And as most of you know, the attitude, the procedure of selling movies these days has been altered by COVID and by the fact that the major companies were buying content and they've overloaded, so they're not buying anything anymore at the moment, although I believe I've been told it's changing. So selling what you've got as a film is so critical, and how to do it. I did a play on Broadway called The World of Susie Wong, and it received the box office, the preceding box office, the box office in advance was overwhelming, enough for 3 months run without anybody else coming. So we opened the play in New York, and there were 7 newspapers at the time, and they all, it was the worst reviews possible. This is a turkey. This is so terrible. Don't go see this play. And ordinarily, the play would have closed that night. Open, hello, oh my God, bang, and you're dead. A lot of plays do that. They open and close with one night on the boards and then a bad review. But we had 3 months of advance sale, so the producers didn't want to close it. So we were stuck with playing this play that people would get out of their seats and walk out while you're on the stage. You see them walk out. You know, you don't dare say you've seen them or even let it, but you kind of got it out of the corner of your eye. Oh my God, people are getting up and leaving. So 3 days or 4 days later into it, the other character was Susie Wong, and so at some point I said, "Sit down, Susie." And the guy getting up and looked at me and he sat down. And I realized, wait a minute, I can control the people who are getting up and getting down. So I began to talk faster. No, and sit down. Oh, good. And nobody left the theater. And as a result of that energized the hysteria, by the end of a month, I had taken 15 minutes out of the running time, and the play, which was a turgid drama when we opened, became a comedy. And we ran for 2 years. So that's by way of saying, it's one thing to have the material and being ready to present it, but then you present it, and it's your baby. It's the little crawly baby that's swathed in gentle material, and there's a little baby. Somebody come and see me. And that's the. To you, Bill. It's called dry toast, and they put a little butter on it. So we're doing a dry toast here to me. Okay, dry toast. But that toast belongs to everybody at Legion M. They work so hard, and they've got their hearts in this. And you and I. So thank you very much for your non-existent vote. Salute, everybody.
Thank you. Kevin! Kevin and Bill.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear William. Happy birthday to you.
This evening was not only made possible by the amazing people at Legion M, but also sponsored by the United States Army, who were kind enough to help curate some awesome photo ops, such as putting you into the iconic Twilight Zone episode, Nightmare at 20,000 feet, as well as filming you in a 360-degree video, worthy of any Starfleet captain. And that's a wrap.
For the documentary night that we had with William Shatner, Just Call Me Bill, and Kevin Smith when he was hosting.
Yes.
It was fun. There was a lot of opportunities for photos and yummy food, and we had birthday cake, and we wished William Shatner a happy birthday.
Sung him happy birthday, and Kevin Smith gave him a dry toast.
Dry toast, yes. So that's a wrap for the evening. Good night.
And good luck.